Kia ora, lovely Capricorn. This is your reading for the new moon in Capricorn, which is coming up pretty soon. And all the other astro signs will be up if you're seeing this one. And the collective reading as well. So let's have a look. See what the story is for Capricorns at this current time. And thanks for liking and watching and comments. I love comments. And do check out any other readings that the title stands out, whether it's recent or past. Play around with it. God, excuse me. I've got really bad hay fever, but anyway. And take what resonates, leave what doesn't, as always. These are general readings. They can only be general readings. So Capricorn, we've got the sun coming out for you, which, I mean, whew, that's about as good as anything gets. We've got quite a few. We'll talk about that. Okay, so changes in the air, not in a worrisome way or that would encourage any anxiety at all. It's quite the opposite. It's within your how would you say it? Within your timing, within your it's been well thought out. The will is very directed in this line of cards here. We always go through and clarify with a few other decks here, so bear with. So we come out with the sun, vitality, new growth, togetherness, fun. I mean, it's pretty fabulous, Capricorn. We then have the Four of Cups, a card of, yes, it is a wonderful card. Actually, in the Thoth deck, it's a great card, but the nature of water in the fours is that it's not exactly stable yet. As it moves on through that suit, it becomes more stable. Nature of water, of course, it's not. It is there to fill up any containment, whatever the shape of that is. Whatever form it takes, it will fill it. We see here in the Four of Cups that beautiful radiant water filling up those two top cups, coming down to the two bottom ones. Water's designed to flow, not to be, what's the word, restrained or contained for too long. The idea is that it flows, you know. And so there's a little bit of an instability in that Four of Cups. It might just be that prior time to when you do make some decisions or choices that are inspired or driven by basically your essence of will. I say that because we've got the Ace of Wands coming out then. This is the spark that will ignite action. Whether that's creativity, whatever it is. It's a gift and it comes and you use it within the nature of your will. And what that is focused on at this current time. We then have the Two of Discs, keeping a balance when there's a lot going on. There's a lot of movement, motion. There's a continuum with this Two of Discs because I kind of hear it's not over till the fat lady sings, but that's not a very nice thing to say. But I just mean by that, it's just what I was thinking, that, you know, you are going to make a choice whether you've made it already or not. Maybe you have. That won't be the last choice that you make. We're making choices all the time, every minute practically of the day. Some of those choices we don't need to think about. We just do it. Some we do need to think about. we can spend quite a while thinking about what the best choice would be at any given time. So you're really driven. There's a lot of emotion here. I mean, a solid sort of emotion, even though I was talking about the instability of those 4 cups. But sometimes what appears to be a risk, if you know, your intuition is really saying, you go for it. Look, go for it. You know, sometimes the biggest rewards come from taking chances. And I just see the glorious nature of the sun moving through all these cards. But let's go through and we'll clarify. We'll clarify the sun for Capricorn. This new moon. We might see the seeds of our efforts coming into form, into fruition a little bit more at this time. We get to clarify the sun. We've got, this prominent moon with the 8 of Cups. We, within ourselves, encourage a level of emotional objectivity at this time. You know, it's that feeling like, I know everything's feeling really great at the moment, you know, and then it's like, this can't last. So we foster a level, I'm not saying it can't last, but I'm saying that's often on a human level. We do think, you know, when's that going to shift? Because things are shifting, aren't they, all the time? I mean, that's life. But we foster a level of objectivity. We can still enjoy emotional objectivity is what I'm talking about here. And with that, we've got the beautiful star, which is a healing card, a sort of the sacrament of purification, or a baptism, a cleansing. We're stripping ourselves back here. Maybe for some Capricorns out there, you know, you're kind of coming to understand aspects of yourself, your personality, your drive or drives, and that you're not so much listening to anyone else anymore, what their expectations are, shoulds, coulds. You're listening to yourself. It might feel new, it might feel scary, but it's pretty amazing. I would say for any Capricorn out there that this resonates for, because there's always these readings. If it doesn't resonate, just leave it. If there is a Capricorn out there where this is resonating, we're looking at the 4 of Cups here. That sort of, we can't expect those cups to remain there. I mean, I don't mean to, bear with me here, because of the nature of the flow of water. We have and as I said before, you're being quite emotionally objective at this time. We've got the 10 of discs, which is about the wealth that surrounds you in your world in terms of resources, coin, people. It also relates to your roots, your base, where you are, where your foundations are here, your values, all of that. The base chakra, all of that. Family lines, inheritance, genetic inheritance, or familial inheritance is what this card speaks of. As I said, you're doing what you think is the best thing to do, without being too concerned's not the right word, not being too swayed by others. Maybe there's family saying, no, you can't do that, or, you know, you should be doing this, or whatever. But with that 10 of, you know that the nature of water in the 4 of Cups is designed to flow, and so there needs to, at some point, there's critical mass, all the cups are full and they topple over. If you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, if that makes sense, I mean. 2 of Cups, reciprocal, one of the most balanced cards. In the 2, we see the beautiful nature of that flow, of that exchange of water. Reciprocal choice and choices, contracts, commitments. What's missing here is 2 cups, and this figure is moving towards them. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory here. We're looking at, for you Capricorn, we're looking at the Ace of Wands here, this fiery, beautiful thing. You know, Capricorns are very much, are very good at getting things done, like, what can I utilise here that's going to bring the result that I'm aiming for? Keeping an open mind, remaining objective emotionally, but what are these resources that will get me to my goal? The strength of will, Capricorn. We've got 2 cards. We've got the Ace of Discs, the doorway that you're entering through. This is in relation to what you're shifting gear, shifting gears, making choices, different choice maybe. You're feeling good. You're in a good position. The Ace of Discs is an ace of abundance on many, many levels, not just material. But we see those 2 together, the 10 of Discs and the Ace. So in some ways we've completed some kind of contract there, beginning with that 4 of Cups. For this point in time, we're starting out again, we could look at it like this, in the Ace, with its fellow Ace, driven with a new sense of your purpose or will, power, with that Ace of Abundance, and with that the 9 of Cups. There might be some Capricorns out there, and this is part of this whole thing of making a choice about something, or moving something, shifting something up, yet remaining objective emotionally. There may be something about a feeling of having in the past or recently, very recently, rested on your laurels. There could be an element of taking the 9 of Cups here, taking those cups for granted. You knew where they were, you polished them every month or so. 9 of Cups, don't get me wrong, is a wonderful card, and it's a happy character. But sometimes we need to shift that up a bit. You know what I mean? And the 2 of Discs, Capricorn. Which in all 2s there is a choice or a decision to need, which I think has already been made here. We've got I don't know how that became upside down. We've got death, transformation on the bottom of the card. Excuse me, I've just got terrible hay fever. So we're looking at the 2 of Discs, the great infinity symbol, the figure 8, the Ouroboros. It is part of the momentum and continuum of life, is to keep balance in times of great movement and changes around us. and also we hold that balance, and there's a tension, there's a kind of it's like a seesaw. There are other people involved here. So we're looking at that too of discs to clarify. We've got the Nine of Wands. In some decks, it is a wounded warrior here. It is a position of defending, not for any real reason. We've got these two nines, so I would suggest there's most Capricorns out there would be heading into a new cycle. I know, or a new phase. And I know it's the beginning of the year, and often that's the case for everyone, isn't it? But anyway, I digress. Nines are about gestation and completion, and once we get to the 10, we see it around us, and with the tarot, Malkut being of the earth, the 10s are not permanent. Because if there was a permanency in a 10, it would become inert. There would be inertia. There would be a kind of inevitable decomposition. Do you understand here? And so we've got this Nine of Wands, as I said, defensive, but based on patterns of the past, can be defensive. A lot of decks describe it quite differently. The Thoth deck would talk about the Nine of Wands as a card called Strength, because it holds the balance between the sun and the moon as that central ninth wand, with the 8 wands in the background. 8 of Wands being of speed and communication and movement. That luminaries balance between that sun and the moon. And what was I saying with that? The infinity, the tension that lies between the two, and yet it's reliant on that for movement. So therein lies the difference between some decks, I guess. We then have the 2 of discs again, which is this little chap here. We see that ocean, we see the long ship there. We're keeping a balance here. We're making a decision. We've already made one maybe, or we're going to. But we're keeping a balance anyway. We're not flying off flying off the handle left, right and centre. We're keeping a balance. And then we have the Queen of Cups, the consummate queen of the emotion, of the emotional world, keeping our cup full for others as primarily for ourselves. Because if we can't do it for ourselves, we can't offer others anything. So let's get a Brian Froud, Pixie and Fairy Capricorn. Oh, they just fell out. We have a celebration, whether that's you yourself and your family or your group of friends, but this is about friendship. It's about the collective. It's about group. And if there's been any conflict with group, be it family, whatever, you may see that subside and things are reconciled. We also have Lady of the Harvest, a beautiful lady here who knows when it's time to shift, when it's time to cut back, when it's time to plant. And there are others that rely on that, whether it's I was going to say whether it suits them or not. It's a strong harvest queen, this one. And then let's get a rock mineral crystal for you Capricorns out there. for this new moon. New moon. One just flew out. Let's see, I need to put my glasses on. We've got blue topaz, finding a spiritual ally, higher wisdom, abundance and forgiveness. Now, abundance, higher wisdom. There's as much forgiveness of the self as it is toward others. Blue topaz, beautiful, beautiful stone. On that note, Capricorns, thanks for tuning in. Do look at other readings. The astro signs will be up here if you're watching this. But do look at other readings that you made up of many things, of course, and some of the older readings on the channel. A title might stand out. Check it out. On that note, ka kite, thank you for your likes and comments and subscribes and all of that. Cheers for that. Bye.